Psychology and sports. So it says that nowadays the competitions in the field of games and sports have become complex and rough. Coaches as well as trainers are also trying hard to enhance the performance of sports persons. So in fact, the enhancement in the performance largely depends on the sports physiology, sports biomechanics, and sports psychology. So sports physiology and sports biomechanics play a vital role in enhancing a sports performance, but limited extent. But if we talk about sports psychology, it is helpful, but there is no limitations. Okay, in fact, there are various psychological factors such as motivation, learning, interest, attitude, emotion, stress, anxiety, which affect sports performance. This was just the introduction part. Now it's focusing on the meaning of psychology. I mean, meaning of personality. Now, what is personality? The term personality has derived from the Latin word persona. What does the persona term mean? The word persona means mask. Mask was worn by various actors in dramas in those days of ancient Greek civilizations. It means that the marks which were usually we use emojis in various applications. Like if we talk about WhatsApp, we do use emojis to express what I feel, right? So earlier in Greek civilization, ancient Greek civilization, there were Russian people, Russian actors who used to wear mask to express what they used to express their expressions basically. Okay, so those marks used to be called as persona, and from that term persona, it was a Latin word persona, the personality word has derived. Personality usually means an individual is much more than outer appearance. It's something which is much more than outer appearance. It is a dynamic and organized set of characteristics possessed by a person that influences his or her cognitions, emotions, motivations, and behavior in various situations. So it basically focuses on the enduring characteristics which makes a person different from others. Okay, so personality also refers to the pattern of thoughts, feelings, social adjustments, and behavior persistently exhibited over time that strongly influences one's expectation and self perceptions, attitudes, and values. So here, just we have to keep this in mind. The term personality has derived from the word persona. Persona means mask. Those masks were worn by various actors in dramas in those days of ancient Greek civilization. And personality means the enduring characteristics which makes a person different from others. So it is a set of characteristics which is possessed an individual that influences cognitions. It influences cognitions of a person, emotion, motivation, and behavior. So it includes both the combination of emotional attitude as well as behavioral response. Right. Now there are different people who has defined personality in their own way, but main focus or main definition of personality is that we can read just the definition which were given by uh, these people, right? There's nothing to explain now. Dimensions of personality. Now there are four dimensions of personality: physical dimension, mental dimension, social dimension, and emotional dimension. So what it says that personality cannot be disintegrated. The various dimensions of personality are just divided into compartments only for the sake of convenience. Okay, these dimensions are interrelated and no dimension can be properly understood without the reference of other dimensions. So all the dimensions are interrelated. You can't only focus on any one dimension. You have to know all the four dimensions because they both are interrelated. If one dimension is affected, the other dimension will definitely be affected. Okay, it definitely be affected. So without clear cut understanding of these dimensions, it is difficult to understand that the personality, the significant dimensions of personality. Okay, so what is physical dimension? Physical dimension first is the most significant dimension of personality. Okay, it is based on first impression is the last impression. It is related to good appearance, good physique, good health. It is with appearance, shape. It will basically includes your outer beauty, we can say. It's not talking about your inner qualities, no. Okay, it says that physique is the foundation of the personality and inner qualities doesn't matter in the beginning. Even if we say that inner quality is the most significant thing in a personality, but when we meet a person for the first time, we focus only on, psychology says that we only focus on the outer appearance, the physique of that person. So we focus on the appearance, we focus on shape of the person, skin color, weight, structure, height. When we go for the first meeting. You know, it's basically focusing on the first impression is the last impression. It is only focusing on your physique, your good appearance, your good physique, good health, and inner qualities does not matter in the beginning, and physique is the foundation of the personality. So we got to know 5 points from this dimension, right? Now, what is mental dimension? Mental dimension is basically, it is also a most significant attribute of personality, and it is related to mental and intellectual strength and abilities. So it basically has, like, it is related to mental and intellectual strength and abilities, and the real identification of personality lies in, like, if I want to know the real you, right, so I should know your mental dimension. Mental dimension plays a really important role by for giving, by giving real identification of the personality. Like, it gives the real identification of the personality, real identity of a person, right? It is related with thoughts, ideas, and knowledge. So we got to know 3 points in this mental dimension. First, it is related to mental and intellectual strength and ability. Second, it gives the real identification of a person. And third, it is related to thoughts, ideas, and knowledge, etc. Now, social, the third dimension is social dimension. Social dimension is related, by the name only we can understand, it is related with the social qualities. What are the social qualities? Social qualities like adjustment, cooperation, togetherness, discipline. So these all, leadership, these all come under social qualities. So it is related to social qualities such as cooperation, togetherness, adjustment, discipline, leadership. Good personality is who a person is said to be a good person, a person who has a good personality. By when we say the person is, having a very good personality, because the person is friendly, sociable, you can say, socializing, right? The person is not rude. If a person is rude, or shows aggressive nature, we won't be able to say that the personality of that person is really cool. No. If a person is friendly, if a person is sociable, socializing, talks very nicely, know how to respect people, know how to talk with people, then only we say that the personality of that person is really good. This was the third dimension. And the last dimension is uh, emotional dimension. Emotional dimension is only focusing on your emotional stability. It is related to emotional stability. One should have proper control on his or her emotions. Now, which kind of emotions? Emotion can be, your fear, it can be your anger, it can be happiness, it can be distress, it can be disgust as well. So it is a very important ingredient of balanced personality. Okay. So till now, what we got to know. So for in psychology and sports, they are basically comparing the psychology with sports. Okay. So we know what biomechanics is. We also know what physiology, plays, how physiology, the role of physiology is being played in the field of sports. But we don't know what how psychology can be helpful or important in the field of sports. So it says in the introduction part, in the very first paragraph, it says that biomechanics and physiology are helpful but in limited extent, but psychology has no limitation. Okay. Now, it has a few factors as well. Psychological factors: motivation, learning, interest, aptitude, emotion, stress, anxiety, all can affect a performance of a sport, right? Sports performance can be affected through these, through stress also. My performance can deteriorate, right? If that stress is negative, there are two types of stress: eustress and distress. That is psychology part, but yeah, it gets affected, right? Now, what the term personality, now we went into personality. And what the term personality mean? Personality has come from the Latin word, has derived from Latin word persona, which means mask, which was worn by various actors in dramas in ancient Greek civilization. Okay. uh, it basically, it is something, it is much more than outer appearance. It is enduring character. It basically is a, it is a enduring characteristics which makes a person different from other person, which makes a person unique, right? The characteristics which is making a person different from others, right? Making unique. So it has two combination: emotional as well as behavioral. Both the combinations we can see. Now, it affects the cognition, emotion, motivation, and behavior. Now, there are different definition which is given. uh, by many people now. Dimensions of personality were got to know. There were 4 dimensions of personality, and it says that all the dimensions of personalities are interrelated. Like if you want to know any one part of any one dimension, then we have to focus on other 3 as well, like because all the 4 dimensions are interrelated, and one dimension would be incomplete if you want to know only physical dimension of the personality. So we won't be able to understand physical dimension separately. We have to know all the 4 dimensions. Now what are the 4 dimensions? First is physical dimension. Physical dimension is only focusing on the outer appearance of a person, as in the good appearance, good physique, good health. So it includes appearance, shape, skin color, weight, structure, height. So it says that inequalities doesn't matter in the beginning. It only based on first for it is only based on first impression is the last impression, and it says that physique is the foundation of the personality. Now what is mental dimension? Mental dimension is the second dimension of personality. So it is it Acha, now dimensions and types are 2 different things. If we are asked to write dimension, then we have to only write, we'll write these 4 points. Types would be different. Types, there are 4 types as well, ABC, A, B, C, D. That we'll get to know it later, right? So mental dimension is related to intellectual and mental abilities. It gives the real identification of a person, and is related to thoughts, ideas, and knowledge. Social dimension focuses on social qualities such as togetherness, leadership, cooperation, adjustment, discipline. And good personality is always sociable or socializing. Okay. Now what is emotional dimension? Emotional dimension is related to emotional stability. One should have proper control on his emotions such as fear, anger, distress, disgust, etc. It is the most important ingredient, for the balanced personality. That's all in this part, and the next part we'll continue from types of personality. Thank you for watching.